Hello everyone, my name is Abuba and in this video I will be reviewing the swamp biome mod. Uh, I will go into the test world that I'm in right now and fly over here where I found the swamp biome. This mod basically it adds a swamp biome, and here you can see this is the swamp biome, the one with the green leaves. These trees are the swamp trees. And I say this mod already it looks really awesome, where the just the green color of the leaves and the way the forest looks. I already took a look at this mod. This is not my first time installing this mod. I'm just making the review now. Over here there is a really big forest, like the forest really looks good. Let's see this big land area, for example. Here, look at this. The trees, like they really do look very good with like the whole, like the way they just are. The visual aesthetic is really pleasing with this one. I do think so. This is a really good looking swamp biome, and like that's really good. And then yeah, like I'm gonna take a look at the ground level after I've flown around for a few moments, showing what it looks like out in the world. So as you can see, it's spawning like near the jungle biome due to the heat and humidity table that the Minetest uses for the biome distribution. So the values for the swamp biome are sort of similar to the ones with the jungle. So now that I've flown around and talked enough, I'm gonna go to the ground level. Let's go here to this nice looking place. I'm gonna show what the ground level looks like, and I say this is really awesome. Look at this. Oh, and as you can see here, there is mud. These smooth ones, they are mud and the player sinks in them, and I cannot jump. When I'm in here, I cannot jump. I can speed forward, go faster downwards, but I cannot swim up. Yeah, and look, the player moves really slowly. So, well, I can break the one I'm currently sunken into. So it's not that difficult to get out of. All the player needs to do is just destroy the one they fell into and then just do whatever. Yeah, all the other blocks are solid. One can walk on top of these other ones, and those are roots. Let's see what they were called. Root with mud, yeah. Anyway, as you can see, this looks pretty good. Now, unlike the previous mod, I reviewed the Everness mod, which has a very heavy fantasy aesthetic, where it's specifically for people who are into that sort of thing, where it might not be for everyone necessarily if you don't like the sort of fantasy thing. This mod, it really does go really well with like the default Minetest aesthetic, I say. And I would say that like this is a must-have if you want to have like more biomes and variety in your Minetest world, and like it's perfectly like it goes together really well, I say. And I'm gonna mine some of these trees actually, yeah, and show what these are called. It's mangrove tree. I don't know how that's supposed to be pronounced, but it's mangrove tree. Anyway, let's go on a trip. So yeah, like I was saying, the visual design and the like the just way the biome fits in the world, I say it might as well be a part of the default base game, the Minetest game. Like it is that good, it fits in that well, it might as well be a part of it. Unless you for some reason really just hate swamp biomes, I don't see why you wouldn't want to have this in your world. Like yeah, so this is a strong recommendation. I mean, of course, it's inevitably up to you to decide what you want to install. So yeah, that's obvious. I'm not making the decision for you. This is a review and a recommendation. Yeah, I strongly recommend this one. So the mods for Minetest, they come in many different kinds. Some mods have some stronger emphasis on like some fantasy aesthetic, like the previously reviewed Everness mod, but this one really goes well into the world. Just like Like, if this wasn't the base game, I wouldn't like think that it's a mod. Like, it just looks like it just belongs into the game. Like, yeah, it's that similar to the world aesthetic, the Minetest aesthetic, and I say it really fits in. Now I'm just repeating myself, so let's move on to the next thing. So yeah, items and things it adds. Let's see, where were they? Where there's some section where they were in the inventory. Yeah, it seems they're here, right? So the items it adds, there's the swamp water. You might have seen. Oh, it's not getting dark. Set the time. Grant single player set time. Right. So you might have seen when I was walking around that there are these waters. I don't know if you saw them, or I didn't at least comment on them yet. Anyway, these waters, they spawn this swamp water. So yeah, this is the item, the bucket for swamp water. Whoa, it's not. I can't remove it. That's interesting. I did not know that was the case. I can't remove it. That's odd. Clicking on it like this, it doesn't actually remove the source block. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's intentional. Who knows? That's interesting. You didn't know that was a thing, but whatever. Anyway, let's move on. There's, of course, all the variations of the mangrove tree, all the fences and all that stuff that would be with the other blocks. There's a trap door. Let's take a look at the door as well. So it's of course the same mangrove wood that's right there next to the door right now. That's a pretty good looking door too, and this does look pretty cool too, so that's good. There's the sapling for the tree. There's the Mesecon light post thing. Post light, what? Mangrove wood mese post light. Then there's mud blocks and mud bricks as well, so the mud can be made into blocks. Let's actually look for the crafting recipes of this and see how this is made. Look at that, it is mud and wheat. It makes mud blocks. Mud blocks are combined to make a mud bricks. Yeah, that's interesting. It looks like roots can be used as basically like regular like wooden planks. That's interesting. Yeah, it's basically like a wooden plank. And yeah, the planks do like they do look. Wait, that's the regular jungle plank. Let's see there, mangrove. Let's quickly compare it to because the color is a bit similar. Let's see how similar they are really. Where's the regular plank? There. Let's compare them. So let's see. So like this is the mangrove wood and this is the jungle wood. So there's an obvious difference in that. This is like brown and this is like this sort of has this magenta tint. Yeah, anyway, I do like this texture. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it can be used in some builds. And also, speaking of the bricks I just mentioned, of course, the dungeons and all that stuff will of course use these bricks, like they would always use the same variants of the biomes that they spawn on in. So yeah, that's interesting. So these are the dungeons and they spawn with these bricks. It's pretty good. This dungeon is pretty exposed and goes into the lake. It's a pretty good looking dungeon too with the mud bricks. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah, that's a interesting looking dungeon. Yeah, it's a pretty good mod. I'd say like there's very little reason not to have this. Like this is definitely like top recommendation, like highest top recommendation. So like yeah, it could even be just put to the base game. Like it's a good addition. So yeah, swamp biome, good stuff. Some vines. Interesting behavior. Let's see how they. That's just like, yeah, that just works like that. Yeah. Yeah, the vines just sort of fly around like that. Like they are just blocks like others. They just or can be placed like that. Yeah. And also one can walk on the vines like this as well. And that's interesting. There's this big gap here. Look at that. Yeah, like just walk in the middle of the vines like that. That's an interesting mechanic. And I can see through the world, through the wall or ceiling or whatever. Right, so that's a good mod. Yeah, so I think that might be the end of this video. Oh, but I do remember one more thing. This is not going to be the end just yet, there's going to be one more thing. There is also an interesting small addition that I will mention for the sake of mentioning it. The water lilies. You can see these water lilies, whatever they are called, water lily. They spawn in this swamp like so. And they are not in the water there. So there's also a mod for this mod that makes it so that the water lilies spawn elsewhere, and it also makes it so that there are dead trees that are made out of the root. This root spawns around, so I will also demonstrate that mod just to showcase what it looks like. So I'm gonna cut the video here. So this is with the Swamplified mod enabled, and like as you can see now there are lots of more of these swamp lilies everywhere, like on these regular blue waters, where normally the with only the swamp biome mod the water lilies only spawn on these inland water source blocks. I can't see any there. Let's see if they are elsewhere. There, as you can see here on these inland water sources, normally they only spawn on them. I don't see that many here. They might not spawn here. The water sources. Anyway, as you can see, these are the water lilies. Oh, it's getting dark. As you can see, these are the water lilies. So, and then oh yes, of course the trees. These are the dead trees I mentioned. Some of them are now dead. So all of the forests, they don't look as green anymore. They have now these dead trees around, and then there's a bunch of these water lilies that weren't here before. So that's what the Swamplified mod for the swamp biome mod looks like. So it kind of just makes it look like this. Yeah, it adds the trees. I might also want to go show that area as well. That looks pretty good. I don't see any here. That's interesting. So at least this nice looking area looks nice still. Now I'm not necessarily a big fan of this mod for the swamp biome mod, but I wanted to mention it anyway. I will also show you again just a picture of like with and without the Swamplified mod enabled. So like here's with, and this is without. There are no water lilies in the open water, as you can see, and the trees, they are all green and there are no dead trees. So you can decide which one you prefer. Well, actually I might prefer either really. Both work just fine, so yeah, although I said that I might not be the biggest fan of Swamplified mod for the swamp biome mod, both are good. So yeah, you can add it if you want to, both are good. Yeah, you can just basically pick one. And also you can install or uninstall it mod as well, because it doesn't add any new blocks either, so that's interesting. So like to an existing world, You can add it and then you can remove it, and then you can add it and then you can remove it. It doesn't affect the world generation in any way, like in that sense. It doesn't add any new blocks that will be removed. Right, so enough of that then. Yeah. So, it's a good mod, swamp biome. I do recommend you use the swamp biome. Strong recommendation, good mod. So yeah, that's that for this video. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye.